Glad to be here. Glad to be anywhere.
It's good to be places.
Yeah, exactly.
I've known Chuck for many years, beginning, I think, back at least 10 years ago with the North Carolina Songwriters Co-op, where we were both on the board for a while, and we hung out. And then over at WCOM Radio, we had some shows over there. Licks and Lyrics was the show, and
That show still goes on.
it still goes on, in spite of we have faded into the sunset. And just, I hadn't seen you, Chuck, in a while. Wonderful to see you here in person. Really looking forward to hearing your music, and always enjoy that. And you have some new, fresh recordings, too, that we're going to spin a track or two off of. But we always like to start the show with a live song. So what do you have for us first?
Well, this is off the new record, and I can tell you that we're using that term loosely. We actually recorded this thing. Good gosh, it's been a couple of years ago now, and I'm just now getting the artwork done for the cover, etc. It's called Ex-Girlfriends. This is the first track. It's called Anybody's Guess, and sometimes it goes something like this. We go back such a long time, always friends and never Valentines. She laughs and she cries, but it's always about some other guy. Tonight I'm asking, why not me? Oh, it's anybody's guess how it's gonna go. She might say yes, but she might say no. It's anybody's guess. Ain't no way to know yet. It's anybody's guess. She's been acting a little strange, and she says she's ready for a big change. I can tell when she looks at me that things are different, and I hope she'll see we could be together, yeah, we're meant to be. Oh, it's anybody's guess how it's gonna go. She might say yes, but she might say no. It's anybody's guess. Ain't no way to know yet. It's anybody's guess. We've been wasting so much time. Now I'm hoping she'll be mine. But it's anybody's guess how it's gonna go. She might say yes, but she might say no. It's anybody's guess. Ain't no way to know yet. It's anybody's guess. Oh, it's anybody's guess. Yeah, it's anybody's guess. I should have told you this a little interesting trivia. My wife and I spent the night with my mother-in-law not long after my father-in-law passed, and I woke up. I had dreamt this song. Dreamt, is that a word? I had dreamt this song, and I mean, it was almost complete. I picked up a guitar, and in 10 or 15 minutes, I'd never done that before. That was the only time.
No, we've heard every once in a blue moon that, but never happened to me. So it was a good song, real catchy.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
I bet it's real good with the band, and the band is the Contenders.
The band is the Contenders, yep. We've been on hiatus since COVID. We've played a little pig picking a few weeks ago, and we were supposed to play one last Saturday, and the organizer actually came down with COVID about midweek, so didn't get to do that.
Wonder what happened to the pig.
Good question.
I'm pretty sure it's still dead.
Yep. Yeah, maybe he got pardoned. I really don't know.
So, Chuck, how many tracks on this new record?
It's just a EP, just 4.
Okay, and you recorded where?
Recorded it at Night Sound.
Well, you've done a lot of work over there over the years.
Yeah, I've done. This will be the third one.
With Chris Wimberly, is that who it is?
Yep.
Yeah.
And Megan Purrier has been the engineer on the last couple. And I'm scheduled December 4th to roll back in there. So.
Oh, with new recording?
Yeah.
Wow, good for you.
Yep.
Wow,
so looking forward to that.
Well, Bob, I did some reading of Chuck, and I realized I didn't know all of his secrets. That his songwriting career started at Fuqua Elementary School.
Yep,
I'm so sorry.
So, and he was a big hit back then. Yeah. So tell us a little bit about Fuqua Elementary and what happened with that music.
Well, it was actually my cousin Randy, who lived in Durham, who was a few years older. You know, he and I and my other cousin Al Champion would, pretend to be the Beatles or whatever. And I think Randy first came up with this song. He came up with the title for a song called Twirly Top. So then we kind of all passed it around, and so we wrote a song in the first. I was in the first grade. They were in the third or fourth or whatever. And
And you played this live somewhere?
Oh no, that was just that was just my creative writing skills there. I'm afraid.
So what was guitar your first instrument?
No, I started playing the drums in the I guess you'd call it in the band. I lived in Pennsylvania for 3 years, just outside of Pittsburgh, 4 years, and in the fifth grade. The band, it was a real small school. I only had one. It's kind of hard to believe, actually, especially being in Pittsburgh. But we only had one class of each grade. But there were a bunch of elementary schools. Anyway, it's called Third Ward. And the band teacher would just come around and pull people out of class. So it was like
that was probably
You're in the band now. You were drafted.
Exactly.
And nobody complained.
Exactly. And so I played drums until. And my parents bought me a real crappy, can I say crappy? I'm just kidding. A crappy set of drums, which I quickly wore out. And they were so happy, because you can't play drums quietly. So they rushed right out and bought me a guitar instead of replacing those drums. So that was roughly, I'd say, ninth grade.
It's just good parenting right there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And ninth grade, a pretty good time to get a guitar.
Yeah, absolutely. And the first time I picked it up, well, I was writing songs even before that. I really, from that first grade thing, from then on, I was kind of writing songs. And by the time I picked up the guitar, and this is very unfortunate, and we were having this conversation last week, it's very unfortunate. Because of that, I really never listened or learned a whole lot of other songs, and I think my guitar skills definitely suffered. I mean, I pretty much just, every time I picked it up, I played the 3 or 4 chords I knew, and then every 3 years I'd learn a new chord. And so I kind of wish I hadn't done that.
Learned new chords?
No. Kind of wish I had waited a little longer to write and had worked on my guitar skills a little bit.
Well, I don't know if you were, it had seized you, and so it had. And we're really glad that it did because of that. You're here today. Everybody, we are here with Chuck Champion, chuckchampion.com, easy to remember. And he has other records that are out there and the recordings of them out there. And you can still buy those CDs or get downloads or something? Yeah,
you can hear them on Spotify, and you can buy them last time I checked anyway, at Amazon and iTunes and pretty much just wherever they sell
all
music.
The standard streaming places.
Yeah.
But you don't need to go there right now because Chuck is going to play another song for us live.
Woohoo!
Well, this one, I don't want to dwell on the negative, but as you know, Kurt, my wife passed away in May, and I haven't written anything about that. I think that's going to be down the road quite a ways. But what seems kind of odd or interesting to me, is a lot of the songs that I had written in the past, not necessarily about her, really seem to have a lot of meaning to me now about her. And this is one, it's called Never Thought It'd Last Forever. and it's actually about a breakup of an affair, not a spouse passing away, but still, I got to say, when I do relate it to my wife. Yeah, again, it's called "Never Thought It Last Forever," and it's on the "She Takes My Money" record, which I do relate to my wife. The "She Takes My Money" part. It's the other way around, actually. Never thought it'd last forever. Still somehow I thought we'd always be together. And I remember every kiss. Never thought that it would end like this. You left without a word, without a line. I'm out of patience and I'm out of time. I search and search, but all I ever find are the memories you left behind, left behind. Never thought it'd last forever. Still somehow I thought we'd always be together. And I remember every kiss. I never thought that it would end like this. Situation's hopeless, doubtful at best. Should have seen it coming, oh I should have guessed. But for a moment we were truly blessed. Now hearts are broken and it's such a mess, it's such a mess. Never thought it'd last forever. Still somehow I thought we'd always be together. And I remember every kiss.
More Chuck Champion here live on Pass the Hat.
You're too kind, thank you.
Yeah, you were putting yourself down, your guitar playing skills, but I think you're playing guitar just fine and writing great songs.
Well, thank you. As I say, you're too kind. I appreciate it.
So how does one get from Fuquay Arena to Pittsburgh or vice versa?
Well, my dad was an electrician, and he went to work there. So I went. We moved when I was in the third grade, and we came back the summer between the 6th and 7th. Moved right back in the same house, and just.
Well, you carried your Fuquay accent. I'm from Pittsburgh. I grew up there, and you carried your Fuquay accent all the way to Pittsburgh and all the way back because Pittsburgh got a whole different way of talking.
Oh, absolutely. And look, of course, when I got up there, everybody thought I was a hick from Fuquay, which I guess I was.
Surprise!
But then when I came back, I had the Pittsburgh. I was saying
they're
Yuns.
saying, what happened? What are you talking like that for?
Yeah, you replaced y'all with Yuns. And,
Yuns, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. My business partner is from Fuquay, and every time we're talking and he doesn't quite understand what I'm saying, I say to him, he hasn't quite picked up my Fuquay slang yet. So, did I say he was from Fuquay? I meant to say he was from Pittsburgh.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Either way, it works.
Yeah. Okay.
So it was a bit of a culture shock.
Oh, it was a huge culture shock. I mean, I loved both places, made great friends. In fact, a friend of mine from Pittsburgh, I'd seen him once, 6 months or so ago. He passed through, and he came 4 or 5 weeks ago. His name's Rick Sovich. Hadn't seen him since 6th grade. Came through, and we went to open mic in Pittsburgh, and had a big time. It was just
Nice.
like we were in the 6th grade again. We pretended to be the Monkees. Now my cousins and I, we were the Beatles, but in Pittsburgh we were the Monkees.
Well, Chuck, when you bring a new song to the band, and now I had a band that that matured and was together for quite a while, and we still would be if we wanted to, but we've sort of stepped back a little bit, and hope that we do re-merge at some point. But it's a band that's been together for a while, get to know each other real well. But when you bring a new song to them, what's the process? Do you play it through once like you just did for us, and then kind of tell them the chord structure, or how's that work where the band then learns the song?
I hope none of them are listening. I have never gotten through a whole one, I don't think, where I was playing it without everybody playing by the end. And I say that jokingly because it is true, but I mean they are absolutely great at picking it up and molding it, and
so the song changes a little once they get a hold of it.
yeah, it does. Yeah, they were a band before I joined them, so I'm kind of like an outsider. So sometimes I think I have no power whatsoever.
Well, it's really great hearing these songs. I forgot how much I enjoyed, and it's Chuck's stuff is just so wildly entertaining, and I've never heard the band, but I'm just sure it's really dance time when they get going.
I've been hearing it in my head over these past 2 songs, and they sound great.
I've got to say, if you've never heard the band, I'm not. This is not a humble statement. This is a true statement. They are so much better than I am. I feel so fortunate to have them. Sometimes I just wonder, why are they playing with me? But
I mean, I've heard the recordings, but I've never heard them live.
Right. Yeah,
and
really
I would love
good.
to, because that's the way to.
Can we hear them live anytime soon?
No. You
Okay, you got anything to play for us then?
You could have heard them last Saturday had the pig not died or whatever.
Oh, well.
But no, we don't have anything on the books. We really haven't gotten together except to sort of get ready for that last gig 3 or 4 weeks ago. So we need to get a few rehearsals under our belt,
Yep.
and I'm hoping maybe to get us back to the Blue Note, which is my favorite venue.
No, it's a great venue.
Yeah, absolutely.
Perfect for live music.
I'm hoping Bill will let us do the CD release there. We'll see.
Yeah, well, I talked with Bill. I guess it was yesterday, and they're just starting to look at their 2022 calendar. So do connect with him sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I'll try to do that this weekend.
And
yeah.
I know he'd love to hear from you.
Yep.
But in the meantime, can you play some more music?
Absolutely. There used to be a young lady songwriter in the area, Louise Bindall. I know you know her, and we had a conversation one time. I don't even remember what the conversation was. And after we talked, I wrote this song, and then I tried to give her. I keep telling this story. I'm sure she cringes every time she hears it. So after I wrote it, I tried to give her co-writing credit, and she didn't want it, which, that's kind of a bad sign when somebody doesn't want it. So, but it's called King of Fools, and it goes remarkably like this. Baby, you're driving me crazy, 'cause I want you, yeah, I need you. Want you to want me too, but you don't care about me, you just care about you. And darling, you wish upon a star and all you get is stardust in your eyes. I will take my hand, see where the future lies. Oh, well, I know how you feel about me, yeah, I know how you feel about you. You think you're some kind of princess, you think I'm some kind of fool, but I got this hypothesis that I insist is true. Even the king of fools needs a princess too. and Snow White, Cinderella. Hey girl, I'm trying to tell you, happy ever after's here today. Oh, well, don't be shy, don't throw our love away. Oh, well, I know how you feel about me, yeah, I know how you feel about you. You think I'm some kind of princess, you think I'm some kind of fool, but I got this hypothesis that I insist is true. And even the king of fools needs a princess too. All the local cats and aristocrats, hey, they're all the same to me. And they can stick it in their hats, 'cause we're royalty. Woo! Oh, well, I know how you feel about me, yeah, I know how you feel about you. You think I'm some kind of princess, you think I'm some kind of fool, but I got this hypothesis that I insist is true. 'Cause even the king of fools needs a princess too. I said, well, even the king of fools needs a princess too. I said, well, even the king of fools needs a princess too.
Hey, more Chuck Champion here, live on Pass the Hat. You can learn more at chuckchampion.com.
Well, Louise Bendall, we did give you credit tonight here. And Louise is another one of the founding members of Licks and Lyrics, along with Chuck and me.
I thought so, but she moved out to Seattle.
Yes, Louise is now at, we really miss her. She was a great person. She is at KBFG 107.3 North Seattle, and she's carrying on the tradition. Her show is called Local with Louise.
All right.
And promoting local music out there. And so, Louise, thank you for keeping original music moving forward.
And hey, we've got a fair number of people listening to the stream from WHUPFM.org. Y'all people listening to the stream, if you'd like, you could hear that same high-def audio stream married with some high-def video if you go out to any of our streaming services. Just look for WHUP Pass the Hat, WHUP Pass the Hat on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And you can see Chuck Champion in all his musical glory.
And
I
pass
didn't
it around.
know that. Now I'm nervous.
Yeah, no. It's what you think that little thing was
I don't know.
pointing at
I thought
you?
maybe you were going to take my picture at some point. I didn't realize
we actually did take your picture too. So we're using a variety of media here, and you don't need to go out there right now if you're not able to, if you're busy or whatever, or don't have access to the internet. But if you don't have access to the internet, that must mean you're right down the street listening live on the radio. But all these shows are saved and archived for some time, Bob.
Forever.
Wow.
That's a long time.
Well, if you go out to WHUP, I can't even talk anymore, WHUPFM.org, the shows are archived for as long as there's going to be a WHUP. So we're going to assume that's forever. The video streams are on Facebook, which I'm pretty sure will outlive all of us. YouTube, which I'm pretty sure will outlive all of us. Twitch may outlive all of us, but they only save their videos for 2 weeks.
They need to get some more storage space real fast. Yeah.
I think they've just got a different business model.
Yeah.
It's the new, it's the now. And speaking of the new and now, it's Chuck Champion here live in the studio. Good song so far, man.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I tell you what, if you will, let's do one more, and we'll be about halfway, and I'll get you to play one of the songs from the record.
That'd be great.
We might be willing to do that.
Sounds good. You guys are easy. This is called Sometimes I Wonder. It's on the new record, too. And this is a song about, that person that when you were in high school or whenever, you had a little thing with, and now they're gone, and you hadn't seen them in years, and you from time to time wonder what they're doing, etc. And I wonder if they wonder about me. So
this is a song about Jenny. I didn't say that out loud, did I?
Oh, you're Jenny. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, it may be about Jenny. Who knows? I got to figure out where to put this capo here. Story about the capo real quick. I've been playing the guitar since the 9th grade, like I told you, and I've been looking for an electric guitar that I could put the capo on where I didn't have to retune, and I just found out after all these years I've been putting the capo in the wrong place. I've been putting it behind the fret, and Paul T. Baker, our guitar player, said, "Man, you need to move that thing up a little bit." And I've bought at least 5 guitars trying to find one that wouldn't go out of tune when I used the capo. So.
Yeah, you stretch the strings a little bit less.
So for everybody listening who now they're scrambling looking at where they're placing their capo, where exactly? So you have yours sitting just behind the fret.
Right on the wire.
Okay.
So, but I got to tell you.
Some people put it directly between the two frets.
I kind of did that.
You stretch the wire a little bit more.
Yeah.
Well,
Stretch
then you're in
strings.
a halfway tuning.
Yeah, apparently
Fair.
so.
Yeah,
Apparently.
you're a half step off or on, depending.
So, and that's kind of what I was doing. But the problem now is it really cramps your hand.
Gets you in your way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure does. But at least it's in tune. So this is Sometimes I Wonder. Whoever heard your name today? I didn't catch the details. Someone said they knew you well. Then they turned and walked away. I found myself in this old bar. I ordered up a strong one. Tonight'll be a long one. Sometimes your memory's so hard, and sometimes I wonder, when I smell the rain and I feel the thunder, where you are and who you are, and do you think of me in summer, and just where we might be if I hadn't set you free from that spell I had you under. And sometimes I wonder, I have the same dream every night. The water's rising higher, so I hold you tighter. But still you vanish from my sight. And sometimes I wonder, when I smell the rain and I feel the thunder, where you are and who you are, and do you think of me in summer, and just where we might be if I hadn't set you free from that spell I had you under. And sometimes I wonder, I know everything's alright, but when I'm alone at night, well, sometimes I wonder, when I smell the rain and I feel the thunder, where you are and who you are, and do you think of me in summer, and just where we might be if I hadn't set you free from that spell I had you under. And sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder, sometimes I wonder.
Nice.
Everybody, it is the turn of the hour, and this is WHUP LP Hillsboro.
And you are listening to WHUP, to Pass the Hat on WHUP, streaming live on WHUPFM.org, also on FM 104.7, and video streaming on various video streaming services, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. And hold that in your hand, Chuck. Kirk told you about our new sponsor, the Accidental Baker. We also have our long-term sponsor, Matthews Chocolates. Support for Pass the Hat is sweetly provided by Matthews Chocolates, 104 North Churton Street, Hillsborough, North Carolina. The best handcrafted, handmade, hand-painted, as local as you can get, finest chocolate in the universe.
And bring
stuff.
something for our guest every week, and Chuck, that is yours.
And this
thank
was
you.
freshly made by Matthew. You may have noticed playing 2 songs ago, Matthew walking into the studio and handing that off to us. That's how fresh it is. He just finished it 20 or 30 minutes ago.
no kidding.
They're different. It's a solid pound of chocolate that you get.
It is.
It's a different stuff. You can see how wonderfully decorated it is on the front and on the back label. It will tell you exactly what he built into it.
Dark chocolate, cinnamon, sugar peanut bar. Enjoy! Exclamation point! I will.
That sounds terrible.
Got the WHUP.
That's the as Kim Lane has dubbed it. That's the whoopaphone.
And if you can't see it, it's pretty microphone there.
The microphone there and some kind of iridescent metallic kind of colors. It's just the man is an artist.
And don't show up at my house trying to get a little bit of it either, because
Oh, no, that's all for you. You do not have to share. If anybody wants some, you send them to Matthews Chocolates, 104 North Churton Street, Hillsborough, North Carolina. Now, Chuck, we were going to play a song off of a CD.
yeah, this is called. Well, first of all, let me tell you, the contenders are. I'm actually. because I am
Before you do
Oh,
that,
sure.
you've given me 2 CDs. I'm not sure which one
Oh,
I'm
I'm
supposed to
sorry.
play.
It's the first one.
And it's the second track.
And it's the second track.
All right, I'm sorry. Now
Yeah.
go ahead.
And this is myself with the contenders, which are Paul T. Baker on guitar, Trey Marchant on bass and vocals. I can't. Yeah, he's singing on this song. Yeah, and he's singing with me on this song. Fred Miller on the drums, and Anthony DeBona on keys and sax. I know he plays sax on this song. I think he plays keys too. It's called Ex-Girlfriends. I overheard your name today. I didn't catch the details. Someone said they knew you well. Then they turned and walked away. I found myself in this old bar. I ordered up a strong one. Tonight will be a long one. Sometimes your memory's so hard, and sometimes I wonder when I smell the rain and I feel the thunder, where you are, who you are. Do you think of me in summer, and just where we might be if I hadn't set you free from that spell that you wonder? Well, sometimes I wonder.
That was really nice hearing those two juxtaposed, with Chuck playing it for us here kind of acoustically, and then the band in all its glory. And man, that band sounded great.
That was very much what I was hearing in my head when Chuck played it, except for the organ solo and those guitar solos. That was rocking.
Yeah, those guys are good.
Yeah, and the harmony vocal was nice too.
Yeah. Huh?
You said that was Trey?
Yep.
Well, Trey, we need to have Trey and Peter back in the studio, Ace and T-Bone, and so it's always enjoy them. And
they're one of the songs I brought.
Good.
When we get to the next segment is.
I need to be in touch with them, and because we book in advance, but try and get them in at some point. So, Bob, tell us a little bit more about what we got listed on that CD.
Yeah, this is a radio studio copy. It's not ready for anybody else, but it's got on it songs we've heard. I think Ex-Girlfriends, Sometimes I Wonder. I don't think that much, and anybody's guess.
And we have not heard Ex-Girlfriends, and that's if you want to stick that one back in.
Shall we play Ex-Girlfriends off of this CD as well?
Yeah, why not? This kind of features our drummer Fred Miller.
Y'all tell a quick joke while the CD player loads.
That would be you, Kirk.
Okay, too slow. It's time to hear this song. Let's check it out, y'all.
Dance one more dance, and I'd steal one more kiss, and then I'd shout out this. Ex-girlfriends ain't never ex at all. They're always just a thought away from making me feel small. Ex-girlfriends, they haunt my memories all. They're never ex-girlfriends after all. They're never ex-girlfriends after all. Never ex-girlfriends.
Ex-Girlfriends, Chuck Champion, and the Contenders.
And a really great drummer there. What's his name again?
Fred Miller.
Oh, man.
That's good stuff.
Hilltop Farms in Willow Springs.
Sweet. I'm happy we got to hear that. That made me happy.
So, Chuck, we got the mastering done, you said, and
Yes,
it's
sir.
on to the next phase is the artwork. You project when the public might be able to get a hold of this thing?
Well, if I'll get off my butt, I would hope, worst case scenario, 6 weeks.
All right.
And really,
It's just in time for Christmas.
my art guy's pretty fast. So it's just shipping it off and getting them printed, which
Yeah.
if you got the money, they got the time.
Yeah, no,
that's how
they'll
that
turn
works.
those projects around fast, those CD companies.
Yep.
Well, you said, though, that you had some new music in the wings. Are those things you've written recently or some things you've had around for a while but you just didn't get around to recording?
Most of them, there are a couple newer ones, and a couple of those I'm still in the process of writing, but several of them are older, that I've just never recorded.
And the band has played those yet or not?
Some yes, some no.
So tell us, when you go into the studio with the band, is you do a live recording or you lay down different tracks with different instruments? There are different approaches people use.
Yeah. What they like to do now, like on the first record, where this particular band wasn't involved, we did, like myself and the drummer, and I think the bass player at the same time, and we did that. And of course, my stuff was scratch, so all we kept was the drums and the bass, and then I redid my stuff, and then we had the lead instruments come in. The two that I've done with the band, they like to go in and play it live, which does not necessarily mean we won't overdub a solo or something, but and we almost always overdub. Redo.
I love it live too.
That's how you've done your recordings,
Yeah,
right?
we've done them all that way, and that's and I've talked for the next record that now is delayed for a year. I've talked to a producer who wanted to go in and piecemeal, and I said, well, he said that's how I do it. I said, well, because for me, being there with the band, and probably for you, just live in the studio, everybody hanging out together,
Yeah.
just the energy for one
Right.
thing. You get energy, and it might not be as pristine and processed sounding, but that's replaced by just something that's authentic to me,
Yeah.
and also the experience of just everybody being together.
Absolutely, I agree too.
The end.
I got nothing. Kirk Ridge has spoken.
Not that I want to get overly zealous about this. Everybody
No,
has
it's
their
too
own
late. You already
approach,
have.
and I've heard records that were done one piece at a time, and they're fabulous.
Oh, yes.
And and doing it that way, you can bring in musicians from all around the world that you can't do if you're live.
True.
So there are different assets to each approach, certainly.
Well, Chuck, we've done a fair amount of talking, and I think we need to hear a little bit more of your music live. Are you willing to play us another song?
Absolutely. This is a weird song for me.
All right.
The actual song is not weird, I don't think, but it's just weird for me. It's not really in my mind, it's not the kind of thing I usually do. But then sometimes I feel that way about stuff, and people. Like, for instance, I don't think I sound country at all, and then I'll talk to people, and and I'm talking about the music, not me personally. But that when they categorize it, it's always country. But
Depends. If they're from Boston, then you're
Yeah.
real country.
I guess.
If they're from Alabama, then you're some sort of Yankee.
Yeah, exactly. I think so too. Well, this is called Awkward Princess, and again, I think it's a little different for me. Well, you could be the belle of the ball. You could be the very center of it all. But you don't dare, 'cause you don't even care at all. Pretty silk and satin, fine delicate lace, there beneath blue denim. Oh, what a waste. But you got style, wanna see a smile upon your face. Awkward princess, well, your life's a mess. No one has a clue. 'Cause who'd have guessed that you come from royalty and you're bound for greatness, awkward princess. Don't let this moment pass, awkward princess. No time for romance. I knew from the start that I could catch your eye, but I would never win your heart. So we'll just be kindred and free apart. Awkward princess, well, your life's a mess. No one has a clue. 'Cause who'd have guessed that you come from royalty and you're bound for greatness, awkward princess. Don't let this moment pass, awkward princess. You go your way and I'll go mine. I know we'll find our place in time, awkward princess. Well, you could be the belle of the ball. You could be the very center of it all, awkward princess. Awkward princess, awkward princess.
Ace champion. Singing about my favorite barfly, the awkward princess.
No comment. Chuck, these you've been writing songs for a long time, and so I'm wondering if there's any one way these songs come out. You like get some sort of thinking about old girlfriends, for instance, or are you? Do you start by strumming some different chords on your guitar? Some people hear a little melody line, or you said early on in the show that one song just appeared all at once. So is there any one way these songs come out?
By the way, several people have told me I wasted some good sleep by not just sleeping through that other one. Yes, there is, and it has evolved. I mean, it's not every time. I mean, but it used to be you pick up the guitar, you play a couple chords, you like the way those chords sound, so I figure, I wrote something. May not have had a subject in mind, certainly didn't have a melody in mind or whatever. But now, 90% of the time, I've probably been to too many of those Nashville seminars or whatever, but 90% of the time, I just get an idea, and it'll pretty much be the title. And probably the first line of the chorus. And then with no guitar, usually I don't have the guitar, I will try to write the lyrics and the melody to the chorus, and then pick up the guitar and find the guitar part that fits the chorus, and then write the verses around that. Sometimes
so you back into the verses. That's interesting.
Yeah, I just, because if I pick up, most of the time, if I pick up the guitar and just start writing because I like some chords, the idea of this, like the first verse will be the strongest instead of the chorus, if I don't write the chorus first. So I sort of write the chorus first and then write around it.
That
Interesting.
whole process, we've heard people describe a similar process, but to a large degree, most folks come in and they say, well, I just pick up my guitar and I start noodling around and wait for something to jump out at me, and then the song kind of coalesces around that, and you're doing exactly the opposite. You're forcing that not to happen.
Yeah.
By thinking about melody and lyrics, and only after you've got an idea for it, then trying to wrap the guitar around it. It's an interesting process.
Yeah, and again, it's not something I came up with, but the reason, if you try to dissect it, if that is a successful thing, the reason is when people, and again, we're talking about mostly like Nashville songwriters or whatever, that kind of thing, but they want to, they're thinking the strong part of the song is the chorus and the melody.
Sure.
The hook.
So
Yeah.
to write the chorus and the melody around some chords, which there's only 7 of, plus some,
Wacky things.
versions, some variations of those 7.
I thought in Nashville there was only 3, but anyway.
I think you're right sometimes. Yeah, well, there's only 3 subjects, that's for sure. And it's definitely drinking the river and those short shorts or something like that. I'm sorry, country.
I feel a
folks.
song coming on.
I like some country music too.
I'm sorry I interrupted you.
Oh no, you did not.
Okay.
Well, we're winding down to the half-hour point, and we have some fun things coming up for you, everybody, and that's as every week, our guest tonight is Chuck Champion. ChuckChampion.com has brought a playlist of some of his favorite local and
44
otherwise
of
music.
his favorite songs.
44. And so we're going to play those on, they're going to go really fast. Chuck's going to pluck out of the 44 some favorite things for us and tell us about the people who are playing those. But Chuck, before that comes, we have time for one more live song, if you'd be so kind.
Okay, this is one I mentioned earlier, since my wife passed away, that there's a lot of songs I did not necessarily write about her, per se. Actually, this one, I'm sure she had some influence over, but this is one that for sure now I definitely relate to her. I spoke at her funeral, and I told this little joke about these 2 golfers. You asked for a joke a while ago. I should have told this. I won't tell it for time reasons, but my whole point was the one thing. I'm not one to give a lot of advice, but now I do have one piece of advice I will pass along to anybody, and that is, you better live like, today's the last day, because it might be. I had no idea, what would happen to us happened. And that's kind of what this song is about. It's called For a Moment. And again, I didn't write it about this, but now that's what it means to me. So I'm going to finger pick a little bit, so it may be quiet, just as a warning over there. Jeff Hatley, and he would play cello. It sounded really nice. Call it coincidence, or call it chance. A friendly smile, a passing glance. And for an instant, something's changed. Very nice, but somehow strange. For a moment I was taken by her smile. For a moment I was young and I was wild. For a moment I was young and free again. Hoping the moment wouldn't end. For a moment, life passes quickly. It's now or never. It's random moments bound together. and in an instant we could be gone. But for a moment life goes on. For a moment I was taken by her smile, and for a moment life was wonderful and wild. And for a moment I was young and free again, hoping the moment wouldn't end. For a moment For a moment I was young and free again, hoping the moment wouldn't end. For a moment.
Chuck Champion. Chuck, always love hearing that song. Just wonderful.
Thank you.
You can learn more at chuckchampion.com. All kinds of fantastic stuff. CDs coming up, and they're going to have some live shows coming up because this is just too fantastic music for you guys to keep bottled up.
Well, you're too kind. Thank you very much.
Well, everybody, now we get to enjoy Chuck's tremendous skills as a radio DJ.
Oh, yeah. And you know what?
Hold on. Before we
sorry.
do that, you have to wave goodbye to the live stream. Bye,
Goodbye,
everybody.
Bye, y'all.